And the next thing, somebody from the next shop comes and say, come, I beg, come see this thing, come see this thing. And then you're like, okay, give me 2 minutes, make I finish this thing, and they come. And you now say, okay, let me just go and see what it is. And then you get there, you say, hey, you see this thing where they tell you, see, now wait till they say this politician do be that.
Something that doesn't make sense.
Something that is just out of what you're supposed to be doing at the time.
Yes.
And then you say, hey, are you sure not true? And then it becomes a thing. You start having that conversation. For the next 40 minutes, you're in that conversation. Because it's politics and it's something that resonates with you.
Yes.
So you are there, you have lost focus. That's distraction.
Okay.
Or you're working, and I see this a lot, which I get pissed off easily. You're working on a client's thing and a call comes in, your village members or village people, and then they call, and then they call you, oh, do you know this uncle that this is during Christmas, this happened, and you go on that conversation for the next 1 hour or 30 minutes. You can't even say, please, I'm working now, I'll call you back. You should be able to say, when I put my hands, for instance, you're doing an overhaul of a car engine, I don't expect you to take calls for the next 3 hours.
Okay.
Right? So you put all your energy in that work for 3 hours. Trust me, the customer will come. You'll be able to have another customer and another customer. But if you are taking those breaks, or even water breaks, some will say, I bet me will go drink water small, come back. They end up maybe taking a bottle. And by the time they come back, they will not finish that work the next day. So you see your car will remain there for 4 days. So those lead
and there's always an excuse.
There's always an excuse. Because when you don't get productive, there's always an excuse. For anybody who is unproductive,
there's always an excuse for.
So if you don't want to build up on those excuses, once they distract, just tell yourself, I am here. You see this engine between 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now this engine will go focus. Focus.
The word is focus.
And when you finish, you say, Shekina, you can now relax. You can even take yourself out
and
in the
evening. And even call the people that were trying to get
people and say, let's gist.
But in case you miss the gist, there can always be a follow-up.
Yeah. And let me even tell you one funny thing. Don't take this in a wrong way. There are some times where the reward of my work, right, is me calling you up, Jane, and calm down. And then I'm like, hey, Jane, what's happening in your life? And then you're just gisting.
Anytime you ask me that question, I know what I'm going to do to you. Don't worry, I'll get back to you.
So you can get, not when you're in the middle of a work.
That's
true. Many times, of course, you know already, so you don't even like, I didn't call you because I know you were busy. It's easier because you understand it. But those periods where you want to reward, and it's good, it's relaxing, you are out of there, and then you are in chatting and all that. So the same thing is, because it's a professional work, doesn't make it different from the artisan.
No.
So yeah.
The reason why I asked was because the artisans they don't have mails.
They don't do it. The mails is somebody calling you. That's the notification. And most of them are now on TikTok or other social media. You can want to watch one video on TikTok. MC plenty laugh. You are watching. You scroll
Before
to
you
the
know
next
it finish,
one,
will show
to
you
the
another
next
one.
one, to the next one. So you need to just drop it.
I have a boss, or I had the boss who doesn't always meet up with time with deadlines. I rarely have issues with deadlines when it has to do with delivery, rarely. And it's not because I'm very no. It's because I just make up my mind, or I choose time where I work, and then I shut down distractions, because I'm wondering, when I'm sewing at 2 a.m. in the night, who wants to be calling me if you're not a witch? And my number will not go through. So there's no way I will even respond to you at that night. But I had the boss, let me use the word hard, because she's no longer my boss. That when she's working in the store and a customer comes and she delivers the clothes, she escorts the customer to the car. The customer will say, well, I have biscuit too. You go chop, you go give her. After waiting, they happen now. This small thing that we're talking about, 2 hours have passed. And in that 2 hours, you'd have made something significant with your life. Meanwhile, that 2 hours that just passed, you had given another customer, another client 2 hours to say, oh, in 2 hours, please come and pick up your clothes. And you had scheduled that between 10 to 12 is when by 12 the clothes will be ready. And the customer shows up at 10 to pick up her clothes. So you use 2 hours that you were supposed to